We have not been able to escape the heat and humidity this week, and now we're getting ready for some thunderstorms, Cody. Another forewarned weather alert day.
Yeah, that's right. So
get a good look at this. This is new video from California. The sky's completely orange, all from the Dixie Fire. I mean, it looks like a scene from a movie. This is in San Jose, about an hour south of San Francisco. The Dixie Fire has now been burning for a month, and it's the second largest wildfire in the history of the state. More than 5,700 acres have been scorched, and only 31% of the fire is contained. The Washington Monument is now closed after a dramatic lightning strike. Did you see that? And it was all caught on camera. This cell phone video caught the strike around 12:30 Sunday morning. You could see that massive bolt of lightning strike right on top of the monument. The lightning damaged the monument's access system, and officials hope to have that repaired and the monument opened in the next couple of days. When you think of the planet Saturn, the word fuzzy probably doesn't come to mind. But that's how scientists are now describing the core of the massive planet. Experts used to think the core was rocky, but now they're comparing it to something fuzzy. The description refers to what they now believe is a slushy mix of ice, rock, and metallic fluids. Scientists studying Saturn rings say that the ripples in Saturn's rings come from the planet's interior, leading them to their new fuzzy core theory. What you think, Cody? I would not expect that.
Fuzzy, I like that.
Fuzzy. Sounds inviting.
For a planet, I guess.
I would love to feel that. I want a little sample.
A little fuzziness on Saturn?
Yeah, make it into a little stuffed animal, cuddle with it.
Let's see.
Developing from overnight, police are looking into a shooting in East Nashville. Investigators say it happened just after midnight on Joseph Avenue. Right now, we know that 2 men were shot, with one sustaining minor injuries and the other in stable condition at Vanderbilt Medical Center. There's no information available on the suspect at this time, but we're in really close contact with police and we're waiting for answers. This morning, we're learning more about the Delta variant. According to the CDC, it makes up 99% of all cases in the U.S. right now. By comparison, the Delta variant was only 2% of cases in early May. Now doctors are pushing for indoor masking right here in Davidson County. Now there's currently a resolution in a bill proposing a mask mandate, and it was supposed to be talked about last night at the Metro Council meeting, but that didn't happen. It was because the bill resolution and bill were late filed, so the council decided they would wait on addressing it. The resolution would have required masks for everyone in public indoor spaces like the grocery store. If it passed, it would have been non-binding, meaning Metro Health doesn't have to take any action if it's not filed. An ordinance, on the other hand, would make it a law. And as I'm sure you've heard, health leaders have continued to say the COVID vaccine is our biggest defense right now. Vaccination rates in our state are low, but in Davidson County, we're actually making great progress. Nearly half of the county is almost fully vaccinated. As far as the entire state goes, around 40% are fully vaccinated. That's where the board decided all elementary students had to wear masks. This morning, we're learning how many children and staff in those schools have COVID. So here we go. Out of the 25 elementary schools, more than half have fewer than 5 positive cases in students. 12 of the schools have less than 5 cases among staff. When it comes to the rest of the schools, there's either no cases at all or less than 5. The highest number of cases we saw was at Creekside Elementary School. 13 students tested positive there. In total, the district has 47 staff members with COVID and 276 students. I know that was a lot to take in. If you want to take a closer look at the numbers, head on over to the district's website. Over to Sumner County now, where parents say they want more communication when it comes to COVID cases in schools. Some parents told us that schools in the district have several cases of COVID, and they're not finding out about them from the schools or even from the health department. Because of that, they're having to fend for themselves, and this is wild. One parent said she had to use Facebook to figure out if her family even had to quarantine or not. We did ask the state's health commissioner if they're doing contact tracing. She said yes, but because of the current surge, more volunteers are needed to make it happen. Police say 22-year-old Dallas Jordan Barrett was at Dierks Bentley's Whiskey Row when he became unruly and was asked to leave. That's when the staff say he got in a fight with security on the rooftop. They pulled him down to the ground and held him to the floor until police got there. When officers finally did arrive, Barrett was unresponsive and later pronounced dead at Vanderbilt Medical Center. We spoke to a woman Monday who says it took several men to hold him back. We have a sad update to bring you this morning. One of the canines at Nashville's airport has passed away. This is Canine Blues. He died after battling a short illness and was only 7 years old. He spent 6 years at the airport with his officer Ray Pyron, you see there. A new park is coming to Nashville, and the groundbreaking ceremony is going to happen this Friday. We're talking about Ravenwood Regional Park. Now, if you live in this area, it was on the property at Ravenwood Country Club. It's only a few miles away from downtown Nashville, and it's tucked right in between Donaldson and Hermitage. Plans are underway to build multiple recreation areas for people to hang out around the park. If you want to go, the groundbreaking is set for Friday morning at 10 a.m. This morning, President Biden is back in Washington as the chaos continues in Afghanistan. The Taliban is now in total control of the country, other than one tiny holdout of American soldiers. NBC's Jay Gray has more on the plan in place to get those Americans and others out. Flights resumed on Tuesday as the situation came under control. Officials say they will soon be able to evacuate close to 9,000 people from Afghanistan every 24 hours. Developing now, the Pentagon is forming a task force to help people in Haiti after a deadly earthquake. A 7.2 magnitude quake hit the southern part of the country Saturday. According to UNICEF, more than 1 million people were impacted. The Pentagon says the task force will move into the country to help with disaster relief. The military also plans to set up field hospitals in southern Haiti this week. More than 6,900 people were injured in the earthquake and over 1,400 killed. Heartbreaking news as the death toll is expected to rise in the coming days. Yeah, and they're also dealing with this. Devastation continues as Tropical Storm Grace makes its way across Haiti. Obviously, it's making the situation even worse after the earthquake. We know nearly 2,000 people are dead and 10,000 hurt after the earthquake. But this new wave is triggering flooding and mudslides. It's a nightmare for homes in the area, causing many people to have to live under tents and blankets. Around 1.2 million people, with more than 500,000 of those being children, have been impacted by all of this. To the U.S. now, where Tropical Depression Fred wreaked havoc in Georgia. A confirmed tornado damaged a stretch just south of Atlanta. The storm knocked down several trees and caused massive power outages. You can see here, this massive tree was ripped out of the ground, causing it to crash onto a home. It's absolutely wild video to see, and part of that tree actually landed on the main bedroom of the home. Thankfully, the homeowners were not there at the time, but it's going to take a lot of repairs to get back to normal. And then another thing they're watching is flash flooding. It's causing problems there as creeks overflow their banks. Luckily, there have been no reports of any injuries. Now, Cody, it's been quiet here in Tennessee, but that spot in Atlanta is just a few hours south of us right here.
Yeah, that's right, Lindsay. So
no surprises here. Houses in the mid-state are selling way over the listing price. A recent Zillow study found that more than 2,200 houses sold for more than their original listing price during the second quarter of the year. In Nashville, 12 houses sold for more than $1 million over the listing price, and 27 houses sold for over $500,000 over the price. Pocket change, right? This won't drain your bank account, though. Taking your car through emissions to renew your tags could soon be a thing of the past. Justin Beasley has the details on what lucky counties are doing away with testing. Yeah, unbelievable. 5,000. And it's going to be a big show. Live performances from people like Bill Anderson, Vince Gill, and Chris Younger all lined up for October 30th. The Opry is also opening a limited time exhibit at the Acuff House. It's a ticketed show, and it will also be streaming live on Circle. Good morning, Nashville. Right now it is 4:30 on your Wednesday, and you're taking a live look at our city skyline. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, unfortunately, the heat is back on, and we are under a forewarned weather alert again today, Cody. What do people need to know as they're waking up and stepping out the door?
make sure you got the umbrella. And
Masks continue to be a hot button issue around the state when it comes to COVID-19. This week, Governor Bill Lee signed his executive order letting parents opt out of their kids wearing masks to school. Well, now one of his own COVID-19 task force members is speaking out against the decision. News 4's Ryan Breslin is live this morning with the story. Good morning, Ryan. Right now, a popular radio host's brother says it's a long road ahead for Phil Valentine as he battles COVID-19. Valentine's brother says Phil's condition is critical but stable. The host caught COVID back in July, and since then, he's been dealing with complications from the virus like pneumonia. In the past, the conservative host was skeptical of the COVID vaccine. Now his brother said he's had a change of heart due to his current battle with the virus. The TSA says it will extend its mask mandate through January 18th. This mandate calls for passengers to wear masks on flights and other modes of transportation. The new spike in COVID cases is causing major concerns. More than 2,800 incidents of passengers violating the mandate have been reported to the FAA just this year. Now, with all this talk about masks, we're working for you, taking a look at the best mask that you can get for your child as they head back to school. News 4's Brittany Weiner is working for you this morning, sharing all of that information. Good morning, Brittany.
Hey, good morning, Lindsay.
Now, we've seen the struggle that restaurants have hiring and even keeping employees. Now we've learned that those shortages have started affecting school cafeterias as well. News 4's Justina Latimer has the story. Nearly 2 million part-time and flexible jobs have been posted in the U.S. between June and July. That's according to the staffing firm PeopleReady. Now, this could be an opportunity for parents who want to look for work while their children are back in class. Retail is at the top of the list of the most flexible jobs, followed by warehouse workers, personal shoppers, inventory associates, servers, and restaurant hosts. And it's pretty hard to believe, but we're already looking forward to the holiday season. Customer data platform Treasure Data is looking into American consumers' plans for the 2021 holiday season. Their information shows that 2/3 of consumers are buying online now, more than they did before the pandemic. Nearly half plan to do a combo of in-store and online shopping for the holidays. Now on 4, we're sharing another way that bad guys are using Venmo against you. This time, all it takes is a tiny hyphen. News 4's Rebecca Cardenas has more. Venmo responded to our request by saying the situation in question is being resolved. Now, if you think you've been the victim of a scam, you should contact Venmo support directly. News 4 Investigates has also done several stories on Venmo hacks in the past. If you want to read more on how scammers are trying to get into your accounts, we have all of those stories up right now on our website, WSMV.com. My goodness, we're sharing shocking video from Russia. This is a prototype Russian military plane crashing during a test flight. You can see it actually caught on fire in midair and then it went down. 2 test pilots and a flight engineer were on board, and we know that all 3 died in the crash. Russian police have now opened a criminal investigation into the incident. And McDonald's is adding a new glazed pull-apart donut to its lineup. That looks good. The new donut will be available September 1st at restaurants nationwide. The fast food chain says the donut tears apart so you can share it. And if you weren't hungry enough already, the Girl Scout cookie lineup is about to get even more delicious. There's a brand new brownie-inspired cookie coming out in 2022. The Adventurefuls cookie has caramel-flavored cream and a hint of sea salt. Girl Scout cookie season runs January through April, so be on the lookout.
Oh my gosh, that looks amazing.
That's so good.
Okay.